Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the MLG studios here in New York City, and welcome back to Heart of the Swarm Exhibitions, where every day here at MLG, Monday through Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have something going on related to Heart of the Swarm. Today, it's Showmatch Thursday. Last week, we had Dragon versus White Raw. That was awesome. It went to 7 games. Check out the VODs at youtube.com/official MLG SE2. Today, we have two of the best players in Heart of the Swarm going at it. We got Supernova and Seed. Game 1 was awesome. Game 2 should be even better. I'm going to ask if these players are ready, and then we can get going.
Let's do it.
PBT of the ages here, so make sure all your friends are watching. Go tell your mom to watch STARCRAFT 2 right now, because this is the best stuff you're going to see around at this moment in time. So happy to bring it to you. Of course, I'm axeltoss. He's axelav. Having a good time here.
You know, I have a question for you.
What's your question?
Do you know the difference between a normal nova and a supernova?
One is bigger than the other.
Exactly. That's lesson of the day. If a star hits a certain mass, and of course it hits that supernova.
I'm usually terrible when you ask me questions. I always get it wrong. I was like terrified. I'm thinking about like some ploy you had or some trick to that question, but I didn't sense anything there, so I'm happy I got that right. Players are ready. Countdown has begun. Game 2 is going to be on Antigua Shipyard, a map chosen by Supernova. Are you surprised by this?
No.
Me neither.
I mean, this is a pretty good TVP map in general. It's good for two reasons. One, of course, if you get those medevacs, and now with those Ignite Afterburners ability, they're even more deadly. You can jump between the area in front of the natural and the main base very easily. And of course, the other is you can set up some sick tank contains, utilizing the low ground by their third natural area.
All right, here we are in game number 2 at the middle left-hand location. We have the Red Protest player currently up 1-0 in this best of 7. Barely held off in that last game. Awesome hold at his natural expansion. He is Seed. And his opponent in the top right-hand location, currently the #1 ranked player in the Grandmaster ladder for Heart of the Swarm. He's a Terran player, Supernova. Down 1-0, but this is a best of 7. And a lot of people call this a Terran map. As you said before, medevacs can be extremely strong here, especially with that Ignite Afterburners ability where your medevacs can zip across the map, cost no energy, no money whatsoever. At any moment in time, I sense it's going to be somewhat difficult here for Seed to deal with play like that. And look at this, he's actually going to be scouting with a 9, his probe that built the pylon, interestingly enough.
It could be he's thinking he really wants to get in, make sure there's gas or not.
Yeah.
It also could be he might have a specific build designed to counter something like Command Center first. And he's scouting this early so we can tell if there's going to be a Command Center first for sure or not. And he's like, okay, I'm going to do this crazy probe rush or maybe some weird proxy gate or some cannon shenanigans, whatever it is. He maybe had some plans specifically for Antigua Shipyard in the case of a Command Center first.
He's going to scout the gas here from Supernova.
Oh, he gets out as well.
And yeah, you generally the SCV will build a supply depot there and not finish it, just to make sure either the probe can't get in or the probe can't get out. But Seed able to be very ninja-like with this probe and able to scout whatever he wants. And for now, this probe is going to be staying alive.
And is going to continue to pester that poor SCV building the barracks. He's saying, I'm just doing my job. Why are you zapping me? But you know, there are no civilians in StarCraft.
No.
That's the rule. There's no innocence in this game. Even if you're just building the barracks, you're still contributing to the war effort. And Seed's probes do not like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do show a little bit of sympathy to a scouting SCV here and there if my opponent is polite to me and says, hey.
This is like, excuse me, sir, I'm sending this SCV as a peace envoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you please not harm him?
Right. I will comply to that request.
Or like, let's say you like hurt one of their SCVs and they say, can I bring in a medevac to escort this guy back home and take him back to his family?
That might be a little bit too much.
Because what if it's a trap?
Right.
What if the medevac has like 8 Marines in it?
Exactly. Speaking of traps, we have a Reaper jumping into the main base. I have no idea what it has to do with traps, but the Reaper is here. It is fast as can be. Let's see if we can get any probe kills. Just gonna be annoying, just scouting at this point in time. I think he took a shot at those rocks.
He did. Reapers do not like rocks.
Oh,
jumping up and down, doing his push-ups.
Gotta be careful. Gonna back away.
And you know, it's actually it's good for Reapers to do push-ups now and take a couple hits.
Yes.
It toughens them up. In the past, it wasn't good because, of course, then you have a hurt Reaper. But now it just
Regeneration.
yeah, regeneration. So it just gives them a little bit of thickness to their skin, builds up some scar tissue, you know, increases their bone density, whatever it takes to make them stronger for the next bout.
We actually have the Mothership Core coming across the map here, and Seed, Supernova, I should say, is going to be able to identify this. Now, Supernova, Seed, I should say, got his Mothership Core a little bit later in the last game, so we'll have to see what he ends up doing with this. Putting down his expansion at the moment. Might just do some SCV harassment, but there are going to be Marines here. But as long as Seed micros that Mothership properly, he shouldn't lose it.
So, the trade-off is here, Seed has a significantly later Nexus than he'd like to, because he got this core early. And, of course, it made it 2 probes less in build time, because he was building that instead of probes. And what can he do with it?
It's a great scouting tool, I think.
It is. It's a great way to scout. He saw gas first, and he wants to know what's going on. Now he knows exactly what's going on. The timing of the barracks, the fact he hasn't seen anything else, means it's an expansion build. And versus a player like Supernova, he probably can't get much damage done.
Right.
And because the acceleration and speed of that Mothership Core is slow, it's dangerous to go in and try to do damage and regenerate shields because, the Marines can start us at 4 with only 60. Oh! Oh, no!
Okay. He'll get out.
That's a danger. So, was he trying to see...
I think maybe add-ons?
He was looking maybe add-ons or maybe see if there's a factory that's being constructed.
Yeah.
Versus if there's no factory, it's more likely there's E-base going on for upgrades or something. In fact, there is a factory just a little bit after he poked in there, so somewhat unfortunate there. But look at this, Stargate's being completed by Seed.
Wow, this Reaper got a kill, by the way.
Indeed it did. What did it kill, you think?
A probe, I would presume. I don't know what else a Reaper can kill in this game.
Actually, where's it killed the Stalker.
No, it didn't.
Oh, no, Stalker's back in the main.
Are you kidding me?
Well, it could do it eventually. Oh, no, because the shields are
Are
regenerating.
you kidding me?
I don't know, maybe it kept regenerating and somehow the Stalker forgot to turn on shield regeneration.
You don't have that much faith in Mr. Seed, do you? We got an Oracle on the way, as you said before. Pretty interesting location there.
Oh, the Oracle's going to absolutely shut down this attack if Supernova goes for it, as long as it has some backup to help tank for it. But actually, speaking of backup, there's no Zealots right now to back it up. He's got to warp in some meat.
He's got Photon Overcharge.
That is true, and he's building the Photon Cannon.
Oh, the Oracle was spotted, too.
What is Supernova?
I don't
he's
think
got
this
some
will do
Marines back in
much.
base.
I mean, with Photon Overcharge and with Force Fields.
Yeah, there's no way to stack. But what this attack can do is it can force out that Photon Overcharge.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then you can just run away. Right, so there we go.
You're kind of leaving your home vulnerable. Like if a pylon's on the other side of the map and your opponent decides to warp it.
This is true. This is true.
It's interesting. But Oracle coming in here to the natural
2 kills already.
Yeah, turret's not done in time, and this is maybe a side effect to not having these units back home. What's going to defend against these Oracles? Of course, we have reinforcements on the field here from Supernova. 6 is a good number.
The Oracle's got to be careful.
Yeah.
Oracles can kill Marines very fast, but of course, if it's a pack of like 5 Marines, the Oracle cannot take all 5 very easily, without taking severe damage anyway.
All right, we got 2 Oracles now here at the top of the map. Marines going to be retreating back home. Meanwhile, Seed, what is he up to? We got +1 armor on the way, adding on 3 additional gateways. So that's bringing him up to 4. So a very standard number at this point in time. Can still go plenty of different ways. Stopped Oracle production, going up to a Twilight Council. That could be a progression for... Oh, okay, he's just taking down the rocks. I thought he put Photon Overcharge on the Nexus to take down the rocks.
That would have been pretty funny. Oh, another 2 SCVs go down.
Yep.
Not a bad stab for Seed. And each time he does that, it's only costing about 25 energy on each Oracle, so not the biggest deal.
All right, looks like we're going to have a drop play here from Supernova. Those medevacs zipping across the map. The Oracles might be able to scout that this is going on, but as far as defenses in the main base, not a lot exists. All of Seed's armies at the natural expansion, so Supernova able to identify this is going to drop right into the main base of his opponent. Keep in mind these units do have stim pack upgraded. Oracle's coming forward, spotting that this is going on, and now Seed's going to be hastily warping in some units here to attempt to deal with this Photon Overcharge going onto the Nexus, and now Seed's going to try to engage.
Oracle gets his back broken there by the Marine Squadron, but that Nexus is just devastating. I mean, if it was just the Nexus alone, the Marines could go in there and do some damage, but with the army there as well as a threat, a great usage of this Photon Overcharge to defend this harassment.
Yeah, great move there from Seed. Mothership Core getting targeted down, but Seed barely going to be able to throw that away, and that was not... I don't think that trade...
I would say no. I mean, I think right after he killed that Oracle, if he just picked up and left, he would have traded, 1 or 2 Marines for a Zealot and an Oracle, and that would have been a great trade. But unfortunately, I think he overstayed his welcome just a little bit there, trying to get that Mothership Core. Didn't quite work out for him.
All right, so Supernova bringing some more units across the field here. Upgrades. He's at 0-0 working on that +1 upgrade. And Seed's going to be a little bit ahead here, considering he has plus... Oh, he has armor, right? Yeah, he's +1 armor, and he has +2 armor on the way. So, but now it's just evening out again. But, you know, Seed is upgrading twice at a time, whereas Supernova is only upgrading one at a time. So I feel like Supernova has to do damage in the near future here, or Seed might get an upgrade advantage.
Another Oracle coming in for harassment. Oh, he could kill this SCV build in the command center. That'd be so annoying for Supernova. He'd have to restart back from scratch. That's exactly what he's going to do. Not going to try to cancel the command center. Of course, he was very low in energy and would have had no chance of killing that off.
Another drop here from Supernova. I don't think Seed has any idea. Well, actually, he does have an idea, considering he's bringing his entire army up here to potentially deal with this. And here comes the drop, but Seed is here with his entire army. Photon Overcharge once again going down onto the Nexus. Zealot's charging forward, trying to get some DPS down onto these Marauders. Medevac down to 4 HP, going to be zipping out of there. But again, another great engagement for Seed, I think. Yet Supernova remains in that supply advantage.
He does. It's kind of interesting because if we look at these units lost, I'm sure that Seed has come out on top in that
absolutely.
regard. But, you know, the Terran is generally about 20 supply ahead of a Protoss once he gets to mid-game.
Sure.
If so, I mean, the fact that he's, you know, 10 or 15 supply ahead actually means the Protoss is winning. Not to mention the fact that you talked about investing in 2 forges at the same time. Invested in Blink Tech, investing in the Colossi thermal range upgrade, whereas, I mean, Supernova hasn't even built an armory yet. He's just building a lot of basic core units.
Adding on a Ghost Academy as well. And his third is going to
be
be up a little bit earlier than his opponent. Of course, Seed has been very proactive about trying to delay that as much as possible, being very annoying with that Oracle. It has 6 kills. Not too shabby. Oopsie daisies. Excuse the camera movement there. But that factory will go down. Meanwhile, the rocks have been taken out here by Supernova, so has the ability to be aggressive towards that third base. And now we're entering the stage of the game where Supernova can be really annoying. Of course, the main base and the third base incredibly far away from each other. So Medevacs darting in between, back and forth, can potentially do a lot of damage. That said, Photon Overcharge is going to be a huge utility here for Seed, because that could mean the difference between losing some important tech from successfully defending a drop, etc. So I'll have to see how Supernova decides to try to be aggressive towards his opponent here.
Large armies now moving out. Is he just going to go straight up to the third? Seed looks like he's ready for him, though, but Supernova's army is quite large and only a single Colossus there to defend.
Supernova starting to split up his units, trying to minimize that splash damage from the Colossus. But nice micro here from Seed, keeping that Colossus away from the Bio Army. More units going to be warped in here. Colossus getting dangerously low on health. Not too many units here for Seed. He has to be very careful. Another Colossus just now spawned, the other one going down, and Seed might just simply not have enough units. Sure, Colossus are great, but you have to have the gateway composition below to be able to supplement them properly. And all these gateway units are just melting away to this Bio Army. It looks like Thermal Lance has kicked in. And this could be another tough hold here for Seed.
Very, very close. Even the Mothership Core coming to help out. As soon as that Nexus finishes, though, Photon Overcharge will be going down on that. And that should be enough to at least prevent this attack, but... Ooh, not... HP. There we go.
I would almost have zipped the Medevac toward that Colossus and then dropped the Mirage to try to kill it.
That would have been a nice move. Yeah. Definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely worth it.
Cool.
But, you know, I think Seed's not too unhappy about how that went. He got a good unit trade there. He definitely was cost efficient in that engagement. He's still suffering from, you know, an upgrade efficiency, but as 2-2 finishes, he'll be catching up. And look at this.
This is what we're talking
Doom
about.
drop into main. And there's no energy left for another Photon Overcharge. That Mothership Core is low on energy.
Like, it's almost worth losing the Mothership Core and rebuilding it. I mean, it doesn't start with enough, does it?
Yeah, it would start at 50, so it actually have...
It'd be a little bit more further along, but now the Marines and Marauders are going to be targeting this Nexus, and this is what we talked about with Antigua Shipyard. Like, the Terran has the ability to do this. Be aggressive towards the third, back up, immediately pick up in his medevacs, and use Ignite Afterburst.
Using that, yep, there he goes. He's going to jet over.
This is what we talked about.
And there's no way that Seed can get back to defend in time. In fact, the Vikings can cut up to Colossus. There we go.
Yeah. That's what happens on Antigua Shipyard.
Great play by Supernova there, utilizing that to his advantage.
Yeah, of course, map selection is very important in a best of 7. Supernova probably had that strategy in mind when he chose Antigua Shipyard, and he executed it very, very well. Of course, he tried to do what he could, defend it off. What would be your suggestion as to what he could have done better to help deal with that type of play?
I don't know. I mean, that wasn't, you know, I think he might have tried to do too much at once. You know, he had the upgrade advantage. Maybe he should have taken a later third and developed the force of Blink Stalkers before he went out to take that third base. That might have helped him out.
Blink Stalkers, you can help, you know, blink into the main, kill medevacs potentially.
And you can chase down Minivacs as
Yeah.
well. So that's very helpful. Because if you think about that last battle, I mean, he really lost it when he tried to defend his third, and he just took such a bad engagement. I mean, Supernova just had so many more units there, and I think that was because Seed was splitting his attention up in too many different directions.
Yeah, very well played there from Supernova, able to really you know, spread Seed out, which is exactly what you have to do on a map like Antigua Shipyard to get yourself a nice victory. But that ties up this best of 7 series here at 1-1. Coming up next, it's going to be Game 3 between Seed and Supernova. Seed has the map choice. Don't go anywhere.